You know it's a hard thing to survive in Minecraft hardcore for one day, but there's somebody out there who's done it for more than 2,000, my friends. That's who we're talking about today. Welcome back, friends, and a special welcome to all the new friends out there. I'm YoBGS, player of games, and I'll tell you, when I saw that Luke TheNotable was putting up his 2,000 days of Minecraft hardcore, I knew that was something I wanted to watch, something I wanted to talk about. But a lot of you said, hey, YoBGS, don't jump in right away with 2,000 days. Luke did something awesome. He posted 1,000 days hardcore Minecraft in 10 minutes. Now, as somebody who has trouble focusing for long periods of time, I was like, awesome, Cliff Notes, this is the greatest thing ever. So I don't think Luke TheNotable has a single filler day in his entire Minecraft hardcore playthrough, which, by the way, in addition to surviving, that to me seems like one of the hardest aspects of all of this, finding things to do for 1,000 days in the world of Minecraft. Like, what builds do you do? How do you make those decisions? And then make sure you don't die while you're in the process. See, I've never had a 1,000-day world in Minecraft hardcore, but I have had 1,000 one-day world. So I feel like, Luke and I on similar footing heading into this video. Let's get into it, friends, and always remember, if you're digging what I'm putting down, you can subscribe and leave a comment if there's a content creator you want me to check out. Here we go.
What's going on, Minecraft fans? My name's Luke TheNotable, and in this video, we're going to be going through 1,000 days in 10 minutes.
Dude, can we add Luke TheNotable to one of the dudes that is basically another voice better than mine? Shout out to Luke already.
If you haven't heard, I'm about to release a video of me surviving 2,000 days in hardcore Minecraft.
That's coming out in 13 minutes as I'm recording this.
2,000 Days will premiere live on YouTube December 19th, 2020 at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you like 2,000 Days, if you really enjoy this series, make sure you show up to the live premiere. It's going to be
Dude,
a
I'm
lot
so
of fun.
excited I get to actually be a part of the live stream.
And just having a great time while we all watch 2,000 Days live for the first time ever. Really, you don't want to miss it. Now, of course, I'm going to recommend that you go and watch the original videos. You can click the card on screen now to do that. But if you don't have time or you know someone that doesn't necessarily want to
and I will link I'm going to link like a playlist of all of his videos because in addition to me wanting to watch them, absolutely I want you to support Luke as much as possible. I'm sure you already have if you're seeing this video, but yeah.
Minecraft series of all time, this video is for them. In this video, I'll be briefly going over some of the notable moments that happened in the first 1,000 days. Obviously, I can't get all of them because it's just so much footage, and this is only 10 minutes. But this video should get you at least somewhat caught up. You won't get all the fine details, but of course, you should just watch the full videos to get those. And I want to stress this one more time. Please show up on premiere day, December 19th,
12 minutes
at 12
from now. So I'm going to need to record this pretty quickly.
Great! But now it's time to start recapping 1,000
all right, let's
days,
go.
And we're going to start with the first 100. My first 100 days were all about survival, no fancy objectives, just don't die for 100 days. I've played Minecraft for a very long time, but
one of the things I'm wondering about when it comes to this series is, does he count a day as sunrise, sunset in Minecraft, or does he count it as a day of his real life? That's something I've not known about when it comes to these servers. Is a day a real life day, one stream, or is it one day in Minecraft? Again, I'm sure it's a very obvious answer and I'm just missing it, but that was something I was curious about. Again, 100 days for surviving.
Came down for a
That's
while.
something I wouldn't have thought of.
My first 100 days was sort of like my introduction back into Minecraft. I didn't do anything too crazy, mostly just found a way to keep my base as safe as possible. You may have seen the video where I talk about all my failed attempts to get to 100 days in hardcore Minecraft.
Oh no, it got in the house.
I died early on, just getting used to the game again. So these first 100 days...
All right, so shout out to Luke. Shout out to Luke for being encouraging. This is something that, like, it's a pep talk for me because I've just started becoming a Minecraft YouTuber in like the last couple months, and I do mainly reaction stuff, but I've started to branch out into my OC, and admittedly, I've gotten discouraged. It's hard. It is hard to do Minecraft. You wouldn't think an open-ended game would be so difficult, but to see that Luke had some struggles and stuff is, like I said, it's really reassuring. It makes me feel better about some of the worlds that I've started to get into.
It's basically that. Me getting used to Minecraft and trying to survive in hardcore. For example, around day 40, I kept myself busy by building a large birch road to basically nowhere.
Why
I also
not?
tried to set up some basic infrastructure with some nearby villagers. This was right near when the Village and Pillage update came out, so that was new and fresh. There were a lot of ways I tried to keep myself busy. Whenever I would die in my previous attempts, it's because I would do something risky and ultimately get killed. Catching a creeper underneath your...
Dude, how do you not rage at getting blown up by a lagging creeper? That's all That to me would be, well, good. He captured
This is
one.
obviously pretty risky, but nowhere near as risky as something like fighting the Ender Dragon or the Wither. Anyway, I think one of the main reasons people love the first 100 days so much is it's so vanilla. I'm playing vanilla Minecraft, and you can definitely tell that I know the game somewhat. I know what I'm doing. I know to punch trees, but I'm not an expert. I think it's just got a special, unique charm that can really only exist when you have my story. And I think one of my favorite aspects about this entire series is how I treated this world when I spawned. When I spawned, instead of going and trying to find a better spawn with a cool overlook or trying to find a village to speedrun to a nether portal to get the Ender Dragon done, I just said, you know what, this is fine. I'll start punching some
Dude, I dig it. I'm about it. It's like the Bob Ross. Yeah, that is the humble beginnings, but slightly less than humble endings. Shout out to that. I love that it's emerald with a gold back piece and a diamond place to sit, although I feel like the diamond would get a little bit cold. But I dig that because it's very Bob Rossian in a lot of ways. You know, it's very much that mentality of this is me, this is my view, this is where I'm going to be. So I'm all about that.
My main camp all the way into 2,000 days, just built up to an insane
and the Alex
level.
sprite.
Not
very
that I'm
cool.
the first person to ever do that, but I think people can appreciate seeing all the change that happens to my main camp. Anyway, 100 days has a chilled, laid-back vibe. Just don't die. That's your only objective. And I think
it is don't die
nice
December.
That
That's what my chat tells me.
200 days was the follow-up to 100 days. By this point, the series had already become wildly popular. Now, at this point, there weren't bootleg 100 days everywhere you looked on YouTube, but it did get me a lot more views than I'd ever gotten.
What if I'm not bootlegging 100 days, but I'm reacting to 1,000 days?
Before.
Now I'm starting to feel like Luke may not be the biggest fan of this. I'm hoping. It's one of those. I'm hoping he sees the intent type of vibes. For sure.
Not only did I have to survive for another 100 days, but at the end I was going to fight the Ender Dragon. I've already said that I've played Minecraft for an incredibly long time, but at this point I had never killed the Ender Dragon, and you might be surprised about just how many people share that same story. So from day 101 to day 200, I was
actually
prepping.
Funnily enough, I share that story because I've killed the Ender Dragon with a little help from my friends, but I've never done it solo because you just start building. Like my favorite thing, man, my favorite thing is to strip mine. You know, go down to 14, just kind of hang out. You know, if you're playing with your friends, just kind of talk, tell stories, reminisce. It's so easy to zen out, and then you're like, do you actually want to play the game? I'm like, I don't want to play the game. I mean, I guess, but I have a friend who does the same thing with like farms. Like they'll just build farms and almost never finish them, but the act of building is what makes them happy in Minecraft. That's the thing. There are infinite ways to be happy in Minecraft, which is part of why I like it so much.
The Ender Dragon, because if I died, well, then the series would be over, and I didn't want that to happen. My goal was to get absolutely as prepared as possible to fight the Ender Dragon.
I believe you're over
die, and I didn't have perfect stuff, but my stuff was pretty great. In 200 days, I do a lot more with the villagers, especially L-Town. That really saved me here. I don't think it would have been possible without these towns. I put a lot of love into these villagers, even though I locked them inside of their houses their entire lives. If it weren't for them, there's a good chance I could have died when I fought the Ender Dragon on.
Villagers get a bad rap, right? Because Luke points out locking them all in their homes. That's because villagers, like people in the real world, have a tendency to want to explore, right? Villagers have a tendency to want to live their best lives, and sometimes their best lives are not stuck in the village with a population of 6. Sometimes they want to try and find their way to the big city. They seldom do, but you almost can't blame them for wanting to move out, even if they are the best blacksmith in town.
Continued. How great. And hey, you got to watch me kill the Ender Dragon for the first time. That's some sweet
Yay,
memories.
Luke.
So now we move on to 300 days, and after killing the Ender Dragon, you sorta beat Minecraft. Sorta. There's other things to do.
Dual-wielding totems, you gotta like that.
In Minecraft, and during 300 days, I wanted to get those. My goal was to get all of them. I didn't think it would be possible, but at least I was gonna try. And no matter what happened, my plan on day 300 was to fight the Wither, which
oh my goodness. No, I was just about to say that I thought he was going to wait till like 400, 500, or 600. That's wild.
I did a lot of different stuff in 300 days. I conquered an ocean monument, which I hadn't done yet. And that's a pretty good theme of the first 300 days. They're really all about me getting back into Minecraft, getting back up to speed, and understanding the game. And if you look at my progress by the end of 300 days, I've definitely come a long way compared to some of my failed attempts before this series ever existed.
Again, kudos to the dedication and kudos to the just do it attitude. I feel like this has turned into like a motivational video for me because I don't know, man. I just have that mentality, that hesitation about just getting into it, just doing it, just going. Even if you don't have a direction, right? Like just trying something. And it seems like that's what Luke did. Granted, the series was wildly successful, so that helped out in a lot of huge ways. But to me, what makes it so remarkable is that he just went, like he just lived his life. He wasn't concerned, at least it doesn't seem like, about where to go. It was just, in 100 days, I'm going to fight the Wither. Until then, we're going to live again. But what does he do from 301 to 1000?
On day 300, I was very powerful, and the fight was very easy. Seriously, I way over-prepared for that fight, but I think that's part of the reason I became so powerful.
Imagine being in that stream.
I did not want to die. And I still don't want to die, but, you know, if I do die, you'll get to see it, and that's a fun thought. So now we're into the 400 days, but this is part of 1,000 days. 1,000 days is from 301 to 1,000. This is essentially the start of my run to 1,000 days, and there was just so much time. My goal was to kind of do everything. Of course, though, throughout the whole process, I'm also trying not to die. One thing I learned almost immediately is I really don't want to AFK too much in this series, and I basically don't. There's a period at the start of 300 days where I needed a mending book. I just really needed that mending book, and I did some AFK fish farm.
I did see that. I watched the very beginning of day 301 to day 1000, and I found out in that the reason he wanted the Book of Mending was for his elytra. So can't necessarily fault him for that.
I really prefer to play the days out in this series. It can make gathering tons of resources a little tough, but I think every day becomes a little more special. At the start of 1,000 days is also where you see my addiction to the raids and emerald making. It really was a lot of fun and kept me very busy. The Great Glass Town was found during
raids would be a lot of
days,
fun,
but over the course of 1,000 days was transformed into something amazing. Well, not amazing, pretty sad actually, but very profitable. And
I'm digging Cactusburg. I don't know if it had an actual name, but I like Cactusburg. You'll notice, by the way, he's more than halfway through the video, but despite being halfway through the video, he's only at day 388. So it feels like time starts to really fly here.
Spoiler alert, it gets nice in 2,000 days. So basically, the first thing I do on my run to 1,000 days is start doing tons of raids. Yes, for the profits, but also for the totems. The overarching theme on this whole series is never dying, and I wanted to secure that with tons and tons of totems of undying. It took almost 100 days of raiding, but I got a full double chest.
Holy cow! Dude, Fit MC vibes for real, because he carries like a full inventory of totems when he's on 2B. That is an achievement.
Good start to never dying. I also learned a lot more about villager breeding, so I could essentially
When's he gonna get How Do We Get Here?
Super profitable. And this is where you get the atrocities that lie in Glass Town. Now, of course, there were also seemingly useless projects like this large spruce road. I guess it's not useless. I used it, but even
no project is useless as long as you're having fun with it.
I did a lot more exploring in 1,000 days. I was powerful enough to venture out. Day 426, I went through a mansion. Luckily, most Minecraft achievements involve exploring in some way, and it made for some interesting gameplay. And I felt more comfortable exploring at this point. My gear was better, I could fly, and I had tons of totems. And once I had a little more of that security, I started changing up my base, making it look nicer, getting rid of those cobblestone walls. 1,000 days definitely opened me up to do a lot more grinding than the previous episodes. I killed a lot of withers in 1,000 days. 24? Yeah, 24, 23, whatever. Because the video's so long, I could really control the pacing of these sections, so they're pretty short. And other more interesting things are emphasized. The sky was the limit in 1,000 days. I had so much time, I could do anything, and I kinda did. One of the things I really focused on is making my main camp where I first spawned, not
those beacons, the colors, the world. Like, how do you watch this and not be like, okay, Minecraft is now the rest of my life? But that's what's... Okay, so that's why Luke is awesome at what he does. Because what Luke did is his own world. I've talked about this a lot with different things where when you talk about art and modern art and what makes a lot of modern art, especially performance art, successful, to me, is that Luke wasn't trying to be Luke. Luke was trying to play Minecraft. Now, the problem is, if you or I or anybody starts a hardcore world after seeing this, the question becomes, are you doing yourself or are you trying to be Luke? And that is I feel like that's the thing that plagues a lot of just content creators in general, is how do you do your thing without biting somebody else's style? Again, this is coming from a reaction channel, so, take it for what you will. But I love it, dude. I'm about it. I'm so pumped for this video. You have no idea.
By day 870, I had 4 sextuple beacons around my compound, making me virtually unkillable. I'm not saying that I couldn't die on my main camp, but with all that beacon power, all my armor, it'd be very difficult to kill me.
Yeah, I don't know what would kill him.
Somehow got on my camp and I wasn't paying attention, I still wouldn't die because I have totems. Anyway, when you watch this series, just remember it's about not dying and looking a little cool along the way. I just did whatever I could do, really, even if it wasn't necessarily an achievement,
supercharged
like
creepers.
Creeper head. There's no achievement associated with that. It's just nice. The series tries to answer the question, what do you do when you've beaten Minecraft?
Him mauling, dogs mauling a raid. I love that.
Yeah, I spent my time doing the achievements, but I also spent my time building a big emerald house that looks like it was made in creative mode. And can I just say, like, you know, this is cool, but it's way cooler in 2K. The new Nether update also came out near the end of 1,000 days, and I got to play on the new snapshots. I made it a little hard on myself because I didn't want to reset my Nether with the new update. It just didn't feel honorable. But for the limited amount of time that I had access to the Nether update, I did pretty well for myself. I made a sword and a pickaxe. I think
very
most
cool.
of us probably would. Also, to combat people skipping to the end of the video just to see how I did, I went camping near the end. I left my house with nothing and lived off the land for a few days. It was refreshing. And you know, another little
foraging.
Spoiler, I do something.
Oh, I like that. See, that to me is another thing that is incredible because the safety of, I feel like your base could be huge and it could make your content very much just, I farmed. That was all I did. So leaving, going, trying new things, and it sounds like that's where we're going to be picking up this next episode. It's very, very cool.
But by the end of 1,000 days, I was looking very powerful, and I bet everyone was wondering what I do next. I was already doing so much frivolous nonsense. There was a fireworks show on day 1,000. At the end of the day, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I do so much in 1,000 days. You gotta understand, it's such a dense video. When you watch 1,000 days, you get to see roughly 200 hours of Minecraft condensed down to an hour and a half. And 2,000 days is even denser.
In 1,000 days, you see roughly 200 hours of content. So that would mean what? He played roughly 20 minutes a day? No, probably closer to 10, 15 minutes a day. Is that right? But that's still, like, that's a lot. Especially, I don't know. I don't, it's just, again, motivating feels like barely the word that can adequately describe this.
Days yet, I really recommend that you do. It'll take you 3 hours to get through the whole thing, and you'll get way more than I gave you in these 10 minutes. I mean, think about it. What other Minecraft series can you watch for 3 hours and get this much progress? Please, please, please make sure to set a reminder in your phone, tattoo it on your forehead, make sure.
Yes, it's mere moments away, my friends. I'm literally, as soon as I stop this, I'm pulling that up, and we are watching it. Well, I'm watching it, and I'm sure you're watching it too.
I'll be there. We get to watch it together. I'm so excited. You're gonna love it. Now, of course, if you can't be there exactly on December 19th at 12 p.m. Central Time, you can always watch the video. It just goes live.
I feel like reacting to this part is kind of silly because by the time you see it, it is going to have happened already. So I'm gonna leave it here. That was, dude, that got me so excited. How does that not get you excited? How does that not give you so many, like, I don't know, how so many positive feelings? All right, my friends, and with that, it is time. I'm popping over to watch the second 1,000 days. Now, I'm going to be making a reaction video to it tomorrow. What it's going to be is a little bit more like, again, what do you do in Minecraft when you've done everything? What do you get the guy who has everything? And then we're going to look at some of the things, like the big things that happen, and just kind of react to those, because otherwise, I'd be making like a 4-hour video. And again, I really, really do want you to watch Luke's video. I want you to support Luke's content because it is amazing. I mean, I've only seen a small fragment of it and I'm already hooked. So yeah, let's get over there. Let's check that out. Take care, my friends. And as always, I will see you for the salty run back.